Finally, Kristi Noem is now on the chopping block, and it's not because she wrecked FEMA or unleashed ICE thugs to terrorize American citizens. It's because she's reportedly having an affair inside Donald Trump's White House. It's honestly no shock that the sleaziest people end up behaving in the sleaziest ways. And somehow, this scandal might finally be what takes her down after everything else. We're going to break all of it down. But before we do, if you could quickly drop a like on this video, and if you haven't yet, hit that subscribe button because it really helps support our work. Now, before we dive into the reporting on Noem's affair, which is becoming more public and harder for Donald Trump to ignore, I want to start with one of the best takedowns of her gaslighting and lies from friend of the show, Tim Miller. This clip has gone massively viral, and if you haven't seen it yet, you need to. That's where we're starting, because Tim absolutely went off.
This wasn't fucking scary. There was nothing scary about this situation. This lady told him, she was like, dude, I'm not mad at you 20 seconds earlier. A 37-year-old lady in a beanie, in a Honda Pilot, with stuffies in the passenger seat. You thought this lady was a crazed murderer? She talked to you. She just talked to you. I will not be fucking lit by these people. And I will not calm down the rhetoric and tone it down and be like, oh, you got to understand the other perspective. Jonathan Ross murdered her. She talked to him calmly. Said, dude, I'm not mad. Other agents stormed her car. She was afraid. He walks around to the front. She turns her wheel to get away from him. You can see that clearly. He can see it clearly. She goes to get away from him. Like you hear a sound. Like maybe it did bump into him. Not good, by the way. She should get there should be punishment for that. Okay. You can't not listen to cops. All right. You can't bump into a cop with your car. You can't do that. There should be a punishment for that. But the punishment shouldn't be summary execution on the street. About getting like a little bumper car nick at worst case scenario at 2 miles an hour. And like, seriously, I've seen more violent attacks at the bumper cars at Carousel Gardens than that. All right. Like, this is fucking insane. Okay. I will not abide any efforts to be like, oh, you have to feel bad for this guy, or, oh, shoot, it was a tough call in this moment. We all are watching this. This is not a tough call.
I will not let these people lie to my face. Not going to let it happen. I'm not going to let them I am not going to let them tell me that I can't believe my lying eyes. I'm not going to allow them to dictate what is and is not evidence that should be used against a man who should be convicted of murder. That ICE agent, that thug is a murderer. I'm not going to let J.D. Vance say he was fearing for his life as Renee Good was trying to de-escalate a situation in which she was sitting in her car and he was harassing her. I'm not going to let J.D. Vance do that. I'm not going to let Kristi know I'm doing it. I'm not going to let anyone in this administration try to tell me what's what, because if they do now, they always will be able to decide what the evidence is, decide who they get to trust, decide what the facts are, and then where are we? We are in a deeper Donald Trump police state, and that is not where I want to live. And right now, it's not just Donald Trump who's upset with Kristi Noem, so are Republican senators of all people. And it's part of the reason why her firing is looking more likely. GOP senator turns on Ice Barbie over Minneapolis shooting. Republican Senator Lisa Murkowski is picking a fight with her own party, and this time it's over an ICE shooting that Republicans have already made up their mind about. The Alaska senator has widened her existing rift with the GOP by publicly criticizing how the Trump administration is handling the federal investigation into the fatal shooting of a Minneapolis woman, Renee Good, by an Immigration and Customs Enforcement officer. She told The Hill that the decision to sideline state authorities is confusing and unnecessary in a moment of heightened national tension. Mowski took to Twitter on Thursday to urge a thorough and objective investigation into how and why this happened, arguing that such an outcome would require full cooperation from the Department of Justice and Homeland Security, along with the local authorities. Her comments directly challenged Homeland Security Christine Noem, whose department has asserted control over the probe. The Wednesday shooting, which killed 37-year-old Renee Nicole Good, a mother of 3, has ignited political outrage nationwide, when even Republican senators are saying, okay, we don't trust Kristi Noem because who would? Let's be real. Because who would? Who would trust Christine with anything? Apparently, you can't trust Kristi Noem to not be engaging in certain activities, sleeping with members of the Trump administration. Let's not beat around the bush here. That is what Kristi Noem is doing. What does Christine Noem do? Like, literally, she changes her outfits. She shoots commercials that enrich herself, her family, and her staff. She tweets a lot. She's on Fox. She gets a lot of filler, but she doesn't actually do anything. And it's one of the reasons why she may be facing the unemployment line soon. Donald Trump considering firing ally Kristi Noem over her alleged affair. Christine Noem's job may be up in the air. Donald Trump is allegedly considering firing his Homeland Security Secretary over the employment of her alleged paramour, Corey Lewandowski, as her chief advisor. According to a report from Saturday, December 6th, 3 unnamed former DHS officials revealed that the White House advisors are frustrated by the situation and think no one should be let go. Things are effed, one former official said of the pair's secret romance. It's horrible. They're going to destroy this place. I'm just hoping the new secretary gets here in time. The officials noted Trump 79 may bid farewell in the new year as the married secretary's rumored affair with her chief advisor has been called DC's worst-kept secret. Lewandowski, 52, who served as Trump's campaign manager during the 2020 or the 2016 presidential campaign, is also married. The rumor that Noem may be shown the door soon has been circulating for weeks and was even noted in a CNN report released on November 21st about a potential cabinet shakeup in 2026. Noem, who's receiving the moniker Ice Barbie as she's in charge of executing Trump's mass deportation plan, has claimed the rumors of her possible firing are incorrect. Moreover, an outlet reported that the White House spokeswoman Abigail Jackson wrote on Twitter on Sunday, December 7th. Anonymous former staffers pretend to know what President Trump is thinking, and the Bulwark treats them as credible. This report, and the Bulwark, is total fake news. Secretary Noem is doing a great job implementing the president's agenda and making America safe again, she wrote in her since-deleted post. So calling the reporting fake and then having to delete it doesn't exactly strengthen your argument that it's fake. To me, it looks like you're just in a full-blown crisis. And of course they would be. It's important to remember that Corey Lewandowski, one of Trump's biggest allies throughout his political career, asked for just one thing when Donald Trump was elected in 2024. He wanted Kristi Noem at DHS. Not a personal reward, not an ambassadorship, not a check, though they do hand those out. He wanted Noem positioned in DHS. I guess that's better than a check because she clearly profited nicely while she was there. That was his goal, to secure Kristi Noem's political future through Trump. And Noem herself thinks she's running for president. Yep, she sees herself as the future of the GOP, the face of the party. One very ugly face, by the way. And yes, I know people will comment that I should stop talking about appearance, maybe tone it down. No, this is Kristi Noem. She is a murderer. I won't soften it. She is a disgusting human being inside and out. A liar who thinks she can shape narratives to protect her thugs so they feel safe going out and killing. What Trump J.D. Vance and Noem are really worried about isn't just the one ICE officer who killed Renee Good. It's the next wave of ICE officers who will target more innocent people. And yes, I feel a little guilty constantly saying U.S. citizen, because the tragedy is that ICE doesn't care. They're killing human beings. Renee Good's life mattered not because of citizenship, but because she was a person, a mother, an artist, a member of her community, a partner, leaving behind children. That's what ICE is trying to erase, community itself. The only way to fight that, beyond pointing out the awful Botox jobs Kristi Noem keeps getting, is to build and protect community. No one has done that better than Zohran Mamdani, who is keeping ICE out of New York City and actively resisting Trump. It's a tough fight, and sadly it's not easy. But let's hear what he had to say recently.
Today, DHS Secretary Kristi Noem, you were on her mind, clearly. She was asked, she was in your city. She was asked about your statement on the shooting yesterday. And she said, and you basically said that as ICE attacks neighborhoods across the country, New York stands with immigrants. That was a big thrust of your statement. She accused you of putting, quote, illegal people who have broken our law before New York City citizens. What is your response to that from Kristi Noem?
It's hard to truly make sense of that statement. All I can tell you is that here in New York City, we know that it's possible to be a New Yorker, to be an American, and also to be an immigrant. I'm one of the examples of all three of those things in one. And yet what we have seen time and again is an attempt to have cities and states give up immigrants to a federal administration's attempt to fulfill its pledge to create the single largest deportation force in American history. And as the mayor of New York City, I'm going to stand up for everyone who calls the city their home, and I'm going to do so while following the laws we have in this city, laws which include sanctuary city policies that prohibit ICE agents from entering into New York City schools or properties unless they can actually provide a judicial warrant signed by a judge.
One of the reasons I was really looking forward to talking to you today, I mean, you never hold back, and I always appreciate that, is that in this moment of so much chaos and darkness in Washington, your announcement today was really a reminder that government can do good for the people, that if you have the will, if you have optimism about what is possible, that things can happen. People's lives can be made better. And this announcement today from you and Governor Hochul, I should just note, puts New York City on track to become the first city in the country to provide free universal child care, which is incredibly significant. Again, you're on day 8. How did you make this happen?
You know, I think this comes from many, many conversations that I've had with the governor and that our teams have had, all about fulfilling the commitment we have made of transforming the most expensive city in the United States into one that's affordable. But frankly, this day is a result not just of Governor Hochul and myself, but frankly a result of New Yorkers who knocked on more than 1 million doors, who made more than 1 million phone calls, all in the hopes of winning the city that they deserved. And today's announcement, where the governor committed $1.21 billion to taking the first steps to establishing universal child care here in New York City, it's a commitment that will provide universal child care for every 3-year-old.
That is exactly the kind of leadership we need from Mayor. Let me say it one more time. Mayor Zohran Mamdani. Mayor Mamdani. Sounds good, doesn't it? I love it. I'm just going to let that sink in for a moment. You can click off the video if you need to. This is just a moment for me, Mayor Mamdani, who we will continue to uplift on this show. Not that he needs our help, but he will have our support. And if you want to support that, he certainly does need us. Zohran loves us all, and as always, if you want to support this, hit that subscribe button, leave a like on this video, and if you stuck around until the end, drop a blue heart in the comments. And until next time, I will see you soon.